Good afternoon. My name is Seafood Dave Charlesworth from kAJUKENBO Napoli here in Naples, Italy. I'm curious as to if other schools talk about the 26 principles of fighting. I'm thinking of making a series of videos for my school discussing each of the principles uh, and thinking, if you might want to participate or uh, see the series, then let me know in the comments if you're interested. I hope that you enjoy this video and that you'll find some value in it. So if you do, please subscribe and hit the like button. Feel free to offer any comments or suggestions as they're always welcome. Additionally, if you have a topic that you would like me to address, I'm also open to suggestions, and go ahead and leave those in the comment sections as well. So I'd like to speak a little bit what I think some martial arts schools fail to do with their students. We train to fight and defend ourselves and our loved ones, should the need arise. With that said, we often tend to focus only on the mechanical movements, the techniques, along with some body conditioning that's required to fight effectively. While I don't want to diminish the importance of proper technique and physical conditioning, I think it's important that you have stamina. I think it's important to acknowledge, though, that we sometimes fail to explore the psychological techniques and the principles, that are necessary to deal with the reality of a combat situation, especially when it relates to a mental state of fighting. Okay? I think that it's necessary to explore the human behavior and the normal psychological or mental problems and or the processes that are involved in fighting, independently of whether or not that's you finding yourself in a street fight, the victim of a robbery or a sexual assault, or against a trained fighter, in or out of the ring, and whether or not your attacker or your attackers are wielding weapons. Each scenario, has its own set of circumstances, and if you're not prepared, for those circumstances, that may cause you a deficit in your ability to execute the mechanical techniques that are learned and perfected in a controlled environment of the martial arts school, kun, or dojo. This would also probably be a really good place to mention that if you're learning martial arts, the best place to do that is under the supervision of a qualified instructor and not here on YouTube. Okay, so with that said, having mechanically perfect techniques does not guarantee that you'll be successful in a combat situation. Okay? Understanding and learning to exploit the naturally occurring psychological issues that we as humans all experience is essential to improving as a martial artist and can make the difference in the outcome of a life or death situation. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about a couple different concepts. First, the emotion or the self-defeating thoughts that everybody experiences. Are you scared? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Maybe a little bit distracted? You've had a bad day, something like that. Are you feeling psyched out? Are you overconfident? Or are you arrogant? Are you stone cold, ice calm? Knowing yourself and your own mental issues, okay, will not only help you to overcome those issues and remain calm and think clearly during a fight or during a self-defense situation, but they're also likely present in your opponent. And if we know this and we understand this, then they can be exploited and to your advantage. Secondly, there's also a concept that all fighting is based off of deception. And if we understand this, then we can use this in combat. Okay? And that's to say that confusion is a product of good order. Cowardice is a product of courage. Weakness is a product of strength. Okay? Can you see the kind of yin and yang opposite concept hitting here? If one wishes to feign disorder or entice an enemy, he must himself be well disciplined. Only then can you feign confusion. you wish to simulate cowardice and lie in wait for your enemy, you first must be courageous to do so. Okay? Only then are you able to be weak in order to make your enemy arrogant. So he comes after you and then you attack. You must be extremely strong, and only then can you feign weakness. Okay? So therefore, when patterns are expected, don't use a pattern. When you're expected to resist, offer no resistance. When you're expected to be aggressive, offer passiveness, and vice versa. Where passive is expected, offer aggressiveness. When you're tired, fake it till you make it. Be strong. Okay. When you're strong, pretend you're tired. Suck them in, and then attack them. So with that said, there's a lot of different concepts that we could cover. There's 26 of them, like I said. Okay. But for example, something that we can do is learning to absorb our normal human behavior and our expectations, and possible reactions is to a situation, and that is a huge advantage to a fighter. Learn to offer your opponent bait and to lure him in. When he takes it, strike him as he moves in to strike you. Okay? Become skilled in making the enemy move the way that you want them to move. Okay? And then anticipate that and master the setup. Understand the normal reactions and use them to set your opponent up and strike him. Pretend to be inferior. Okay? Stoke his arrogance. Keep him under strain and wear him down when he's scared. If he gets angry easy, insult him. Get him angry, enrage him. Okay? So he'll be irritated and he'll be confused. And then he'll strike out you without a plan. Okay? Any strategy that he thought of before the fight is gone when he gets mad and angry. So learn to use that to your advantage. Okay? Not just with your eyes, but also with sounds and doing your kias and everything else. Okay, that's all a psychological effect. Okay, you want to distract him. Use pain to disassociate his mind from his body. Disrupt his balance. Okay? Always be above all, always be unpredictable, and create uncertainty within your enemy, and then exploit it. Okay, now we can train to do this using the 26 technical principles of uncertainty. Again, I am curious as to whether any of you have discussed this in the principles of uncertainty in your training, and I would encourage you to make comments as well as offer input if you have any. I myself think this is a very important topic for a martial artist, and independently of the public interest in any video that I may or may not make, I intend to at least make this for my students and break it down. And not only doing this for them, but it also helps me to learn and to relearn, okay, so that I can pass this skill set down to my students. For example, this can also be just, I guess, applied to, other concepts in fighting as well. Like, for example, if you would like to increase your effectiveness of your skills and your techniques, those have to be used and applied, to do that. Often, a good fighter might be asked, hey, what makes you a good fighter? And they'll struggle explaining it. Why am I a good fighter? Because I'm in shape. I'm faster. I'm more powerful. Okay, those kind of answers come out. Okay, while those are pretty cool terms that people kind of understand, it's really hard, and it does very little to explain how the student can achieve the same result. Okay, it really just explains the result itself and doesn't explain how you get to that result. Okay. So I think in kAJUKENBO, we use principles to break down the abstractions into the how-to, or the constructs that result in the desired attribute, i.e. speed. Okay, so there's different kinds of speed we can talk about. For example, obviously you have miles per hour, you have timing, you have initial speed, which is probably the most important. and these would be lower constructs that, make up the attribute of speed, and we can work on those. Okay. These are principles and how, one could accomplish the end result of becoming faster by working on these principles. So you could break down a fighter into a couple of categories. You could say, hey, the fighter's in good shape, which can then be broken down into both physically and psychologically. The fighter uses a method, which can then be broken down into mechanical, technical, psychological. We can further break that down into the physical, into the effectiveness, which can further be defined by power, decisiveness, speed, which in turn is broken further down into smaller units. Okay, that can be defined. For the sake of discussion, continuing with the example of speed, we can break that down into initial speed, or break down initial speed, which I said was the most important, right? Okay, into 4 subcategories to work on. For example, relaxation, change in rhythm, independent motion, and explosion of motion. Okay, those are attributes that we can concentrate on in class and improve upon. So, just a small example there, I guess, of something that you could use that for. But like I said, there's another 26 principles that we can talk about. And I'm thinking that probably what I'll probably try to do is just take those one principle at a time, try to break those down, and then maybe share those in a video. I'm kind of hoping I can do this and it's not going to be too tasking on me to do so. But we'll see what we can do, see if we can make it happen. If you've got some input, if you like the idea, please let me know. And if you'd like to contribute, by all means, let me know you'd like to. And please let me know whether or not this is something that you guys have done or experienced in your training. And, if I would love to compare notes and to understand what it is that you've been taught. And, I think it's kind of a great thing that we can collaborate and work on these things together. And I'm here to support if I can. So please let me know in the comments, if you want to see these videos, let me know. And then hit the subscribe button so when new videos do come out, you don't miss them. Look forward to talking to you soon, and take care. Have a great day. Mahalo.